Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't done this already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button for sure, and share the video so people can get it out. I'm a real small channel, but I'm very honest. I'm an honest citizen that carries every day, that likes to give you my opinion on some of the things in the firearms industry. So give me a subscribe, give me a like, share the video, and get in the comments down there and ask questions. I always appreciate questions. Hi everyone, this is Chris with Harris Arms. Welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to make a short video about something I talked about the other day. Well, I didn't talk about it the other day. I said I was going to make a video about it. And that has to do with the my philosophy of concealed carry. Like, again, a lot of things that I talk about on here have to do with me carrying concealed every day as just a regular, everyday, normal, law-abiding citizen. So I wanted to give you my philosophy, kind of some things that I think you should do. And another channel put some stuff out that's really similar to this, that kind of what I'm going to talk about, and that is Mike with Long Range with the Lilies. Now, if you haven't checked out their channel, it's called Long Range with the Lilies. Go check it out if you like any kind of like long-range rifle sporting type events or things like that. Then Reloading, they have good content for that. In fact, I've watched most all of their content and I've appreciated all of it too. They had especially some of their reloading stuff that I've employed some of the techniques that they showed on there. So if you haven't given them a look, go check them out, and I think you will be pleased. But anyway, Mike put out a video today that's along these same lines. I think he called it don't expect someone to save you, or something like that. So if you're going to carry concealed, then you're kind of doing that. You already have the mindset behind you that you are going to take your own self-defense or take self-defense into your own hands, and also the defense of your loved ones and your just people around you. But if you're going to do that, now this is something that, again, I don't think this is my philosophy. I don't think this should be an option, if you will. It's not optional, right? I think this is a necessity. Necessity is a strong word to use, especially coming from someone who's pretty big into philosophy and theology, on another note besides the firearms. But necessity is a strong word. But for me, inside of my philosophy of carrying, I think it is a necessity, right? And that little thing I want to talk to you about today is medical, right? An IFAK, right? An individual first aid kit. A few basic things that you should have if you are going to carry concealed. Now, when I say should have, there are a couple different ways that could be. You could have those items on you, depending on the clothes that you wear, the setup that you have, whether that be in some type of maybe covert or even more overt tactical type pants with pockets, or if it's with something like an ankle medical kit. So the Warrior Poet Society, John Lovell, they have that's another channel that I really appreciate. If you haven't checked out the Warrior Poet Society, you really have to check that out. They're awesome. But anyway, they have a little kit that can wrap around your ankle, and it can go right underneath your pants. I haven't tried that kit. I don't know why I haven't ordered that yet. Sorry, John. I will get one though. I'll check it out. But for now, I just want to say that you should have some type of medical on you. But before I talk about just a few things that you should have, again, this won't be a very long video because I'm not trained to train you. I'm giving you my opinion, and I'm going to tell you what you need to do. So it's not just about getting these things that I'm going to show you. You have to know what to do with them too. Now, whether that entails you're doing a little research on YouTube, because there are some good free options out there. But whether it's doing that through your own research, or whether it's going to a class with certified instructors, you need to do something. It's not just go buy the kit and throw it in the truck or throw it on your belt or put it around your ankle, right? And then just expect, well, I have the stuff. Well, okay, well, if you don't know how to use it, then the stuff's not going to do you any good. And believe me, it's not extremely tough to understand the processes behind it. I mean, basically, when I say a first aid kit, I'm not talking about people out there becoming trauma surgeons. No, what I'm talking about is that if you are going to carry a gun and be willing to put holes in somebody to take someone's life, you ought to be willing to have a basic understanding and the basic tools needed to save a life. Now, let me turn my phone off there. Sorry about that. Getting messages in the middle of a video. Now, where was I? Okay, I'm not talking about people out there becoming trauma surgeons. I'm talking about having basic tools and a basic understanding of how to do, at the least, right? This is at the least, how to stop bleeding, major bleeding, right? Arterial bleeding or even bleeding like in a joint maybe. So there are a few things that you need and a little bit of training, but you need to be serious about it. So if you're willing to take somebody's life, put a hole in somebody, and cause bleeding, you should also be willing to help stop that bleeding. And again, not to be the surgeon, but to stop the bleeding long enough for the person to get proper medical care. Because sometimes, even if you live in a city, paramedics could be a few minutes out. If they're 5 or 6 minutes out, if there's an arterial bleed, I mean, you're in trouble. So understanding at least how to shut that bleed off, right? To cut off that liquid that is leaving the body, right? We only have so much blood within us, and once we lose a certain amount, then you're in big trouble. So if we carry guns, willing to do this, it's my opinion, it's my philosophy, right? It's my philosophy that we also ought to be willing to do something with medical. Now, what do? I have a couple of kits that I keep with me. So when I go to the range, I have a range belt. Usually I take with me. I mean, it always goes with me. It's there. I just might not have it on. So on my range belt, I have, and again, these products, if I name names on them, like the Warrior Poet Society I named earlier. I'm not affiliated with them. John Lovell doesn't know who I am, but I appreciate all of his content, and they have good products over there. All right, so I have a T-Rex Arms belt here, and I have their little first aid kit here that comes on it. Comes with a tourniquet as well, but these are the things that you need. It's not about where you get it from, it's what you need. So you need a good tourniquet. I would recommend a CAT tourniquet. I think the newest generation is a CAT 7. Anyway, you need a CAT tourniquet. Learn how to properly stow it, learn how to properly use it. So you need a tourniquet. This will stop bleeding. I'm not going to train. I can't train. I'm not certified to train, right? But I'm not training. I'm just telling you what you need. When you have a first aid kit, you need a tourniquet, at least one. It would be better off to have 2 or 3 if you can get them. Tourniquets stop bleeding very fast. They're very effective on any arterial bleed on an appendage. So within a kit, a standard little IFAC kit like this one, you're going to get a few things in it. So this one comes in a little pouch like this, and they have it like this so you can like just rip it out if you need it. Because this is where I keep it on the back of my belt, it's at the back, and I can grab that and pretty much just rip it right out. So we talked a little bit about the tourniquet, not talked about it, but just saying you need a tourniquet, at least one. I would say that you also need, or no, I wouldn't say, but you also need some type of packing gauze. Now, what I carry is the Celex Rapid Ribbon, which is a hemostatic packing gauze. So it has a hemostatic to help blood clot. Now, this particular brand here I like, and the reason why I like it is because this brand, the hemostatic in it, doesn't require, or it doesn't require your own body to clot the blood. So some hemostatic gauzes actually they work off of your own body's clotting abilities. Sometimes that might not be the case, but anyway, some type of packing gauze. Simple thing. So tourniquet, packing gauze. You also need, this is probably some more of the same. And also here you have a compression gauze, so some type of dressing wrap or something like that to go along with the compression gauze. But tourniquet, packing gauze, some kind of compression here. Duct tape I would also recommend having on hand. Now this isn't necessary, but it's a really good thing to have. So this is a nasal, and it's to open the airway, a little thing that goes in the nose. Like if someone's unconscious, they can their tongue can get in the way and cut off their breathing, especially if they're laid over on their back. But you can actually put this down their nose, and it'll keep their airway open so they can breathe. Not 100% necessary, but something that is good to have in a medical kit. For stop bleeding, big things: tourniquet, some kind of packing gauze. And you don't have to have this, but it's a good thing to have, like the compression wrap. And that's just so after you've packed the wound, the non-arterial bleed or the arterial bleed that's in a joint or something like that. And instead of, it's better if you just sit there and hold it, but if not, you can wrap it with this. But some kind of compression gauze. And then the last thing that I would say that is like a necessary thing, right, is, and that's some trauma dressing. That would be good there too. But the last thing I want to talk about just for a second is a hyphen chest seal, right? So chest seal, they usually come in a 2-pack like this, and that's for any hole that's put somewhere that doesn't have like a muscle or bone that the artery or whatever the bleed is can be crushed up against, so you can shut it off. So basically any gunshot in the chest or abdomen area. They make some special stuff for that, some other types of things, like very expensive, but for a concealed carry person's need, just a hyphen vent. So they basically are what they said. It's just a big patch with a vent in it that allows air to escape, but doesn't allow air to come in. Right, 2-pack there. So that's just a basic little medical kit. It's nothing that's huge, right? We want to stop bleeding. Tourniquet, huge. Packing gauze. I say hemostatic gauze, huge. Chest seal, huge. And then some type of compression wrap, right? And it doesn't, when it comes to the packing gauze, this stuff's expensive. I think it's like 30 bucks for this little pack. I think. Don't hold me to that. You can use regular gauze. Regular gauze works as well. This just kind of, it can help speed up the process, if you will. All of it's going to depend on a few other things. Again, something I'm not getting into because I'm not certified to train on it. But guys, that's it basically. If you're going to go out and carry a gun and be willing to shoot people, you should be willing to save a life, right? Even if it's the person you shot. You know, that's my own philosophy, right? After I've eliminated the threat, if I can, you know, keep the person alive till paramedics get there, then that'll happen. But you never know what kind of situations you're going to be in. But again, just getting this stuff. Now, when it comes to carrying these IFAKs, these individual first aid kits, you always want to have them available. It's a good idea to have them on your person, but at minimum, you should have them readily accessible. Right? I keep one on my range belt. I keep one in my truck. The one I have in the truck, I don't even have in a pouch right now. I have it in a Ziploc bag. Right? I just packed it full of the stuff that I showed you earlier, and it sits in a compartment in the back of my in the back seat of my truck. If you carry, you should also carry medical. Right? If you carry a firearm, you should carry some kind of medical or have it readily accessible. And the biggest part of this, just like with the firearms, right? If you're going to carry a firearm, you should be trained with it. You should train with it, right? You shouldn't just go out and buy a gun. You've never had a gun before. Go out and buy a gun and put it on your, get you a holster and then go out and start carrying it in the world. No, you should know how to use it, right? Same thing with this medical. You should know how to use it. You should know how to. You should understand what to do with the tourniquet. You should understand what to do with your packing gauze. the compression gauze, and the chest seals. Just those simple few little items right there can give somebody the time they need to get proper medical attention, whether that be yourself. You could actually apply the packing to yourself, but you could definitely apply the tourniquet very easily to yourself, right? So it could be yourself or it could be someone else in the situation. So that's it, guys. Keep carrying, keep training, get you some medical if you don't have it, get you some training on how to use that medical if you haven't had it, and keep on keeping on. And thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Goodbye.